Welcome to the As Above, So Below podcast. Hey fam, this episode is going to be about Tim Pad Watts. I'm sorry. Tim Pad Watts. All right. I call him Tim Pad Watts because in this short little clip here that you're seeing him holding up a sign that says for boys and also a tampon as well. I don't think I have to break down especially for adults, for grown folks, specifically women. I shouldn't have to break down what a tampon is or what it's used for. But, obviously this man slash thing does not know what it's used for or who it's used on. Again, he has a sign that says for boys, tampons. And it just further explains why Tim Pad Waltz is a sicko. All right. He's a sick as a grown ass man, let alone a governor of the Minnesota state as well. You should know you should know at his age. He definitely should know at his age what the fuck a tampon is and what it's used for. And it's not used for boys. It's not used for men. For you liberals and you Democrats out there, and you LGBTQ plus people, because it's mainly y'all three groups that are fucked up in this world and turning the world upside down. Let me educate you on, and I'm not a female, so I don't know the feeling of tampons and shit like that. I'm a grown ass man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't finna come on here and say I'm an alpha and omega man and all that shit, because when you study the etymology of those terms, or beta man, or beta male, or whatever, you study those terms, those terms still fit in the categories of the liberals, the Democrats, and the LGBT group people out there. All right, so I ain't finna call myself none of those terms. I'm gonna call myself a melanated grown ass man. Again, men, we don't have cycles. We don't have periods, and we don't give birth. Okay. That all those natural, all right, natural nature, all right, neutral things are designed by the Most Highs for the female. Okay, for the girl, for the woman. All those things are designed. All those natural things that happens within a female, a woman. Okay, girls. And I don't want to say it's well, yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, it's unfortunate that this motherfucker here does not know the difference. I'm not sure if his age. I'm not sure how old he is, but he damn sure should be old enough and educated enough to know the difference. It's sad that I gotta say educated enough, because knowing the difference between a male and a female should be common sense. Of course, there are some people out there that are born with both sex organs, but that does not denote what their sexual chromosome, as far as gender is, as far as the first coming weeks or months, knowing what the baby is going to develop to be. The rare cases of the same of the double sex organs, or the male and female organs, that comes later on in the development of a child inside their mother's womb. All right, that comes later on. All right, but that does not determine that's not a determination right away. And at the same time, science proves, not just says but proves. Of course, we come from our mother and father, and of course, men do have estrogen inside them, along with women having testosterone inside them as well. Female and male hormones. But what dominates the gender of the hormones determines if you're a male or female. Okay. For example, like I have both my parents inside of me, my mother and my father chromosomes or genes inside of me. I have both of their genes inside of me. Okay. But because there wasn't any complications in my development inside my mother womb, the natural identification of me being identified as a male without any sexual organs, without any extra sexual organs. All right, extra sexual organs. That did not happen to me. Okay, I was born a male, and I got a male dick. I got a male penis. You know what I'm saying? So that's who I am. You know what I mean? I am. You know what was decided based on my mother and father genes combining together. But this motherfucker here does not understand that at all. I would assume as a governor again that you're supposed to have common sense. He does not have common sense, nor does the people who he subscribed to. And again, like I told you before, he subscribes to those three groups: the liberals, the Democrats, and the LGBTQ community. Plus, he subscribes to them. And the thing is, I really don't believe that a lot of these politicians are gay. A lot of these politicians are, what they claim they are, what they fighting. I don't want to say I don't believe, but I don't think a lot of them are like fully 100% fighting for these groups. I think a lot of that is based on clout and power. You got to understand, a lot of these politicians are hungry. They're hungry for power and they're hungry for clout. They thrive off of it. You know what I mean? So the influence, to have people to worship them and to go and to have the masses worship them and to go crazy over them. That's something again that they thrive off of. It gives them a sense of I don't know. I guess it gives them a sense of humanity or being human or whatever. But that it's just like Hollywood, and it's just like the celebrities. Again, these people want us to, your average man and woman and children. They want us to worship them, and as a comedic, as a conservative, and not conservative based off politician. I mean, I'm a conservative politician wise too. Politically, I'm a conservative as well. But I'm a conservative by nature, more so because I do not agree with those three groups: the liberals, the Democrats, and the LGBTQ plus whatever. I don't agree on their understanding. And it's not that it's not because not only I just don't agree with it. In order for me to agree with it it's like me saying that two men and two women should be together, or a man, a old ass man and a young boy should be together, just like the Greeks. They should be together. there's no way in the hell I would agree or subscribe to that type of thinking because it's sick. It's sick. He's holding a sign that's saying for boys, which again, I wouldn't be surprised if he had some pedophilia behavior inside of him as well. I don't give a fuck about him saying he got a wife. It's plenty of these motherfuckers that are in Hollywood and politicians that have wives and have husbands and fuck with little kids. You know what I'm saying? They didn't. They the name Sleepy Joe and Creepy Joe. He didn't. Joe Biden didn't get those names because it was just something funny or somebody just made this shit up. No, it's for real. It's tapes. It's recordings out there of Biden being, bending down to a child, whispering some shit in their ear, and all of a sudden you see the child facial expression just change, like their demeanor just change, and that's some creepy shit. It's creepy, but again, it's also Hollywood and politicians' world. It's their world as well. So. I don't know how the fuck this old ass dude think that tampons should be with should be attached to boys. And you see this, this. I mean, of course, the eyes popping out is the AI shit, but the whole tampon and for boys, he really campaigned on this shit. Fam, he really campaigned on tampons being inside boys' bathrooms, being inside boys' restrooms. And again, what possesses a grown old ass man to say some shit like this or to campaign on some shit like that with Harris, with Kamala Harris? What make him campaign on some shit like that? If he was not exposed to something of that or have some type of fetish, some type of fetish with that shit, you know what I'm saying? It's just it's sickening, man. And his eyes popping out like that, it looks humor, it looks humor, fam. But at the same time, the eyes popping out like that is the same look that he has. He has along with his other Democrats and liberals and gay community. They have that same reaction when they see little boys, little girls, and having objects to use against the opposite sex, which it don't work. Like, where the fuck is you going to put that tampon at, as a man or as a boy? As a man, as a boy, I mean, is you going to put up your ass and you going to bleed from your ass and that's where you get your period at? Like, this shit is just, this is just, I can't even describe how fucked up their mindset is. I can't describe that. Like, where in the fuck is the tampon is going to go? Inside of a little boy or a man, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's, and again, I don't know exactly how old he is, but I feel like he's old enough and he's educated enough. Not only that, but he also has a wife and she's fucked up too, because I don't know no real woman that would allow her man to walk around, saying that tampons are for boys. Tampons, boys can use tampons. I don't know what type of woman she is. I know she's fucked up, because ain't no real woman is going to, there's no real woman is going to allow her man to walk around spreading that type of crazy shit out his mouth through the masses. I mean, I'm not talking about just down the street. This motherfucker was actually campaigning on that shit everywhere. But either way, my time is up, fam. I gotta call these motherfuckers out, and I'm gonna continue to do that. Hey, comment, subscribe. I appreciate you, fam. Peace. Hotel.